Hello, dear children. Let us continue with the chapter Diversity in Living Organisms. Dear children, in the last class we had discussed about the kingdom Animalia. We had gone through the classification of animal kingdom into different phylums like Porifera, Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes and nematodes. Now, today we'll proceed further with the other phylums. Let's talk about the phylum Annelida. Now, dear children, when you go across these phylums, what you need to do is you will come across certain words which are new for you. So, what you have to do is you can make a mind map or a concept map around which you can just write the characteristics of all these animals. So by this you will be able to list down all the characteristics and you will be able to identify the type of phylum. Okay, when we talk about Annelida, these are bilaterally symmetrical and trypoplastic. Now for this you need to refer the other videos before, because there I have explained what is the meaning of bilateral and what is the meaning of trypoplastic. They have a true body cavity present in their body. Their body is divided into many ring-like segments, hence they have the name Annelida. They are mostly aquatic, few are terrestrial. These are the first organism to have a true column. Here, column means cavity. I have discussed about this in the previous video also, that what is the meaning of column. Okay, examples of this phylum are leech, earthworm and many others. Here you can see the figure of the leech and the earthworm. You have already seen them in the soil. Now, when we talk about Arthropoda, this is the largest phylum with 80% of all known living organisms. Animals with jointed appendages. Now, when we talk about the word Arthropoda, in Greek, arthron means join and poda means legs. So the body of this organisms has three segment regions as head, thorax and abdomen. Body is covered by an exoskeleton made up of chitin. Now what is chitin? It is a large structural polysaccharide made from chains of modified glucose. So it's a thing or a material that is made, and from that the exoskeleton of the body of the organisms of this phylum are made. They are bilaterally symmetrical and have an open circulatory system. They have compound eyes. When we talk about the examples of these organisms, they are insects, scorpions, spiders, millipedes, centipedes, crabs, lobsters. You might have heard about all these organisms, so these names are not new for you. You can see here all these organisms. You can see the insects, the scorpion, spider, millipede, centipede, crab and the lobster. Now we move on to the next phylum, that is Mollusca. They are bilaterally symmetrical with a reduced coulamic cavity. So here they have less cavity and little segmentation. They have an open circulatory system and kidney-like organs for excretion. Now here there is a minor difference between the two phylums. So when you learn how to differentiate them, you have to see the characteristics, and on the basis of that you will be able to differentiate them. Now their body is soft and usually enclosed in a shell. Now here is a point of difference. You can see the shell may be external or internal. They show the presence of foot, mental cavity. So you can see it within it. Now examples of this phylum are pearl oysters, bivalves, sepia, octopus, snail, slug. So these all organisms or these all living things, they possess the qualities as mentioned before. Here you can see the pearl oysters, the bivalves, you can see the sepia. It looks like a snail but it is not a snail. The octopus, snail and the slug. So these are all examples of the phylum Mollusca. We move on to the next phylum, that is the Echinodermata. They are spiny, skinned and free living, exclusively marine. So they live in water. The animals are usually pentamerous. What is the meaning of pentamerous? Pentamerous means having parts arranged in group of 5 or consisting of 5 joints or parts. Now they are again trypoblastic and have a coulamic cavity. They have a water driven tube system for moving forward. So when they want to move further, their body is little bit moist so that they are able to move forward. Examples are starfish, sea urchin, sea cucumber, sea lily, etc. You can see here the figure of the starfish, sea urchin, the sea cucumber and the sea lily. The next phylum is the Protochordata. Now these animals are bilaterally symmetrical, trypoplastic and have a column. Now this also is a similar characteristics, but there are certain points of difference that you can see that in addition they show a new feature of body design, namely a notochord, at least at some stages during their lives. Now what is notochord? The notochord is a long rod-like support structure, that is a cord or string that runs along the back of the animal, separating the nervous tissues from the gut. So you can see a rod-like structure at its back. So it's a notochord. Now what does it do? It provides a place for muscles to attach for ease of movement. So in order to move, so for movement, this special arrangement or this special feature is there in this animals or these creatures. So the examples are, the words are new for you, but it is the Balanoglossus, the Herdmania and the Amphioxus. So these are the examples of the phylum. You can see here they look like worms only, but they are not worms. So here is the figure of the Balanoglossus. Here you can see the Herdmania and the third figure is of the Amphioxus. They look like worms but they are not. Okay, now we have discussed about the 9 phylums under the kingdom Animalia. We'll be talking about the last phylum, that is the vertebrata or the chordata, in the next session. Hope you have got a better understanding about all these phylums. I would again like you to read the lesson and go through all these characteristics once, then go through the video so you'll understand with the help of figures. Thank you. Have a good day.